FNN, yeah. Seteguk rasa, oh segarnya, warnai jiwa, rancakkan gaya. FNN, yeah. Kini lebih gempar, kini lebih gempar. FNN, yeah.
Assalamualaikum. Today our group will present for subject FAR570, Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad. This is our group member. NAADIA NATASYA binti Muhammad REEZA, FATHIN NUR'FARHANA NAJWA binti HISHAMUDDIN, Muhammad AMMAR bin Muhammad ADHAR, and myself NAZRIL NAIMULLAH bin NAZARUDIN. For Part A, this is Operating Segment Reporting, AMMAR FAR570. Definition of AMMAR FAR570 is an operating segment is a component of an entity with following three characteristics. First, they engage in business activities from which is earned revenue or incur expense, including inter-segment transaction. Second, whose activities are regularly reviewed by the chief operating decision maker for resource allocation and assessing performance. And third, for which discrete financial information is available. For company background, originally known as the Singapore and Strait Aerated Water Company, founded by John Fraser and David Chalmers Neave in 1893, went public under present name in 1898 and expanded to Peninsular Malaysia starting 1913. On 23 March 1996, the company listed on Bursa Malaysia. For operation, Fraser and Neave Holding operation is Food and Beverages Malaysia, Food and Beverages Thailand, and Property and the others. For the international presence, Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad operates in Malaysia, Brunei, Thailand, and Indochina, and is a subsidiary of Fraser and Neave Limited. The products of this company are exported to 93 countries across the globe. For Chief of Decision Making and Responsibility, Lim Yu Ho is Chief Executive Officer for Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad. He is responsible for the day-to-day management of the group, organizational effectiveness, and implementation of board policies, strategies, and decisions to provide the SODIM effective control over management committee and consequently the authority to decide on operational matters, responsible for evaluating performance and choosing the best way to distribute resources. These are examples of SODIM in publicly listed Malaysian companies. For Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad, the group of CEO and the board of directors are considered as the CODM. The CODM assess the performance of the company segment and allocate resources accordingly. For Nestle Malaysia Berhad, managing director and executive committee are identified as the CODM. The CODM in Nestle Malaysia is responsible for strategic direction of the business, including the allocation of resources across different product categories.
There are two types of segments for the Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad. They are operating segment and geographical segment. This is our operating revenue for the Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad. You can see here the revenue for the 30 September 2024. This is the calculation 10% of threshold for the revenue. For the food and beverage Malaysia and Thailand, they are reportable segment, while the property and others are non-reportable segment. And this is our operating profit for the FNN Holding Berhad. This is the calculation 10% of threshold profit test. For the food and beverage Malaysia and Thailand are reportable segment, and property and others are non-reportable segment. And this is our operating asset for the Fraser and Neave Holding Berhad. As you can see here, the total of segment asset is measured based on all assets excluding cash and cash equivalent. This is the calculation 10% of threshold of the asset. Food and beverage Malaysia, Thailand, and others are reportable segment, while the property are non-reportable segment. This is our calculation for the 75% threshold of the revenue. The percentage are more than 75% threshold, which means that there are no need for additional reportable segment. The benefit of segmental reporting are enhanced transparency and decision making, and better risk assessment. Segmental reporting provided detailed information on the performance of different parts of the business. Segmental reporting enable users to understand the risks associated with specific business area or region.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Dr. Hamidah. My name is NAADIA NATASYA binti REEZA and my matrix number is 2023-114029. So today I'll be explaining about the MFRS 134 Interim Financial Report. So the objectives of this standard is to prescribe the minimum content of an interim financial report and to prescribe the principles for recognition and measurement in complete or condensed financial statements for an interim period. So MFRS 134 does not mandate which entities must prepare interim financial reports, their frequency or timing. Instead, this is determined by regulators, stock exchange or other authorities. However, if an entity prepares an interim financial report, they must comply with the MFRS 134 recognition, measurements and disclosure principles. The Malaysia Accounting Standards Board encourages publicly traded entities to prepare interim report in accordance with the MFRS 134. Next is basis preparation of the FN and BERHAD. FN and BERHAD is using discrete method in preparing the interim report. First, they prepare in a separate period. Second is based on the periodic basis, which is quarterly.
Next is the significant event and affected transaction. The first significant event is the festive season. The affected transaction is the revenue.
The group revenue increased by 1.0% to RM1256.2 million in the Q4 financial year 2024 compared to RM1244.4 million in the Q4 financial year 2023. This growth was driven by the higher domestic sales in both FMB Malaysia and FMB Thailand. For example, FMB Malaysia's full revenue grew by 3.5 million to RM2950.8 million, driven by the strong festive demand and sustained momentum. In addition, this is also supported by the successful channel and demand generation campaign like FNN Rasa Pasti Gempak, Keep It 100 and Magnolia Graphic campaign.
The impact on the financial position is ROU asset. The list increased the company's non-current asset as a ROU asset of 18.5 million is recognized. In terms of lease liability, a corresponding lease liability of 18.5 million is recorded in the financial statements, impacting current and non-current liabilities. Future costs like depreciation of the ROU asset, 370k annually, and interest expense on the lease liability, for example, 925,000 in the first year will affect profitability. Cambodia to establish a dairy manufacturing facility. Thank you so much.
Last but not least, period for the current and comparative for each statement. First, statement of financial position. The current period is on the fourth quarter is being compared to the statement of financial position for the year ended 30th September 2023. Then, statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flow. Current period for the both statements is on the fourth quarter is being compared to the fourth quarter of the financial year end 2023. Last but not least, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. The current period, which is the fourth quarter 2024, is being compared to the fourth quarter of the interim report 2023, while the cumulative 12 months in the year 2024 is being compared to the cumulative 12 months of the financial year end 2023.